Hello, everyone, and welcome to this SMRAT race featuring BFrobber and Antinomy, or Sephi, as he is known by most of the community. This should be a really exciting race. I believe this is actually one of the very last round one matches. So this has been a race that I and probably a lot of people have been anticipating for quite a long time. So it's sure to be a really entertaining race. Both of these runners are also in the randomizer league. And they, yeah, and their match in the randomizer league was a pretty hype match. So I anticipate that this will also be a really hype match. So we're just waiting for the runners to ready up in SRL. They both have the seed, so it's just a matter of getting them getting set up. So yep. So predictions for like what the first item is going to be, or like what trolley item locations there are going to be, and for where the Sephi beam may rear its ugly head. Uh, yeah. So unfortunately, because of these randomizer settings, the Sephi beam will not be on the morph pedestal like it could be with the randomizer leagues settings. But so we have a prediction for vanilla Sephi beam. I mean, if the morph pedestal were morph ball, then the then Sephi beam could be the ceiling E tank. But I don't know. I think like having it be on Terminator is a pretty good location for it. That or Batuini tank is another fun location for it. Actually, pretty much any location where the runners will probably already have plasma. They want to really spend time to avoid picking it up. We have a prediction for Croxy. That would be a pretty good location. And looks like both runners have readied up, so they should be off soon. Uh, and the countdown has happened in SRL, so we should be seeing the runners soon, as soon as the restream catches up. So there are basically there are four possibilities for what the item on the morph pedestal could be. Vanilla, uh, yeah, so it could be vanilla, it could be ice beam, high jump boots, or space jump, and the runners are off. Uh, so it looks like BFrobber's stream is a few seconds behind Sephi's stream, so uh, so I mean, each of them has kind of like its pros and cons. Looks like BFrobber was setting up a moonfall, but failed it the first time, gets it the second time. So Sephi looks to have a bit of a lead heading into Retro Brinstar. So it looks like it Ice Beam as the Morph Pedestal item. So Ice Beam is kind of an interesting first item. A lot of times runners will turn it off very quickly because it requires you to shoot an enemy an extra time to kill it. So it looks like Sephi is going to just freeze the Rio and jump off of it. Let's see what BFrobber decides to do. BFrobber went for the damage boost, but didn't get it. Now he's going to freeze it. I missed what the ammo item was, and so we have supers at the Alpha Missiles, and X-ray scope is a very interesting item to be to get early. We have the potential to complete the microwave beam. But we need to find charge and plasma for that to happen. And maybe if Suitless Meridia happens, or maybe for words from in the game, we might see an X-ray climb. But yeah, the other thing with X-ray scope is that especially when you get it super early and you're not used to having it this early, you can, when you're trying to move off of missiles or supers in this case, you can accidentally trigger the X-ray scope when you're trying to run. So the other interesting thing to note is neither runner has power bombs, so they will not be able to check Billy Mays or Old Mother Brain on the way up. So we will be seeing either bombs or power bombs at Bomb Chorizo. Technically, there are other ways that you could break those blocks on the left, but because the Alcatraz escape is not in logic, those are the only two items that will show up there. And it's power bombs, which is probably the item that our runners wanted to find, because power bombs open up a decent amount, and it also means that our runners do not have to fight Bomb Chorizo. Although, even if they did with super missiles, the Bomb Chorizo fight would be very quick. So Antinomy or Sephi is going to check the 230 missiles location with his newly acquired power bombs. And finds high jump boots. And actually, I think this is probably like one of the more ideal locations to find high jump boots, because you've gone past the climb, which is one of the places where you don't want high jump boots because of your muscle memory, but you've basically gone past all of the muscle memory parts. So yeah, I feel like this is a pretty decent time to find them. BFrobber, on the other hand, is not going to find his high jump boots probably for quite a while. So Variusu at back of Gauntlet, and visible to our runners, I presume Sephi not making that check, so BFrobber is going to have a lot of extra information here. So BFrobber knows that he is going to want to come back to Gauntlet as soon as he finishes his Brinstar loop, whereas Sephi may or may not go there for a very long time. So that is a very, very interesting find. And yeah, basically, yeah, Antinomy was formerly known as Sephi, and a lot of people just in the community just know him as Sephi. So yeah, I guess I'll probably try to just refer to him as Antinomy just to be completely clear. But yeah, so finding a second pack of power bombs, which is always very useful. BFrobber using the X-ray scope for its intended purpose, and our runners finding their first pack of regular missiles. They're going to want to find a few regular missile packs, in particular Fantoon. You want to have regular missiles for, because you don't want to have an enrage fight. And our first E-Tank at the early supers location, and Antinomy getting the really nice quick drop there. Unfortunately, falling back through the crumble blocks afterwards, but still just getting that quick drop is a little bit of swag there. Our runners are basically synced going into the Edikuns area. And more supers. They only need to find 2 more super packs to have the ammo needed to kill Ridley. So one of the things about this Varia location, though, is that our runners may have some incentive to go to wrecked ship first, to just basically check Gauntlet, and then because they're already up there, to go to wrecked ship. And if they happen to find gravity, then and they already have ice, that would basically be go mode for them. But it all depends on where that gravity suit winds up being. So, yeah, so now our runners will be heading into the big pink area where there are a number of item checks, some of which can be a little scary with low health, but these runners are definitely capable of making these checks safely. So one interesting thing is that Sephi did not immediately go to check the super location here, and neither did BFrobber. Sephi getting the gate glitch pretty immediately, finding only missiles. And BFrobber getting the Spore Spawn skip so quickly that I didn't even see him do it. And Charge Beam! That is such a huge find. So BFrobber not only knows where Varia's suit is, he has the Charge Beam, and that means that he won't be too worried about ammo. Sephi getting a bit trolled by that Rio up there. And he is retreating to get more power bombs. Yeah, I guess his power bomb situation was fairly low, so he should do all of these checks when he actually has more power bombs. BFrobber taking a little bit to get the wave gate glitch set up, but manages to get it pretty quickly once he got the setup. Does not have nearly as many missiles at this point as Antinomy does. but I'm sure he will get at least one more pack, especially like unless he happens to find like Wave Beam or something for Phantoon, he probably will want to pick up one more pack. Okay, so Antinomy now doing his big pink checks, although he still doesn't have a very large number of power bombs. So that might get him into a little bit of trouble. But Antinomy finding Plasma, which I did not see BFrobber check. So, yeah, so that actually means that the microwave combo is available. Yeah, so BFrobber did not pick up Plasma, which is really interesting. So Seffi's about to be really happy. He's going to find his charge beam in a second. And BFrobber, because he knows where Varia is, he's going to be going up Red Tower. However, he also hasn't checked the Retro Brain and Old Mother Brain, or Billy Mays and Old Mother Brain, so there could be something over there. So BFrobber making his way to the Alpha Power Bombs location. And yeah, it was definitely a really stacked big pink. So E-Tank and Supers. So Antinomy is also making the decision to go up. So we'll see if he decides to make the gauntlet play, given that he knows that his Vardia suit's waiting for him at the back of Gauntlet. And more supers at the beta power bombs. So we know where BFrobber's going as soon as he gets up Red Tower. And we'll see what Seffi decides to do, or Antinomy. Will he choose to go right to wrecked ship, or will he do the gauntlet check? BFrobber is actually heading towards the moat, and Antinomy is microwaving the side hoppers there. And I missed what the item was on the moat. And BFrobber getting the CWJ across the moat. So he is going to go ahead and do wrecked ship, which is actually, I think, is a pretty reasonable play because he's right here. He knows where Varia is. He's hoping to find gravity very quickly and just immediately dip out. So Antinomy, on the other hand, just checked the moat item and is going to head back and presumably check Gauntlet, and he'll be very happy to see what he finds at the end of there. BFrobber considers for a second whether he wants those power bombs, and then decides that he's going to take them. having 15 power bombs is usually considered the amount that you want. Although he has Ice Beam, he also wants to have 15 power bombs so that he has the option of crystal flashing. So, Antinomy making his way up to Gauntlet. And BFrobber in his Phantoon fight. Yeah, I mean, it depends on where gravity is, pretty much. If gravity is like one of the first few things I checks in wrecked ship, and then he can just dip out and just run right through the rest of the game, then yeah, then it will really pay off. But the other thing is he doesn't have high jump, so I guess Charge Ice would be his way up Worstrom in the game, which is a setup that's doable, although it's fairly difficult. I don't know if he does low percent ice, in which that is the strat. And Sephi has his Varia suit. And is definitely just a gravity suit away from go mode. Before we're getting a fast pattern there. Doesn't quite line up the missiles there. Just gonna have to wait for the slow respawn. It does give BFrobber a little bit of time to farm up some missiles, though. Should be maybe one more cycle. Phantoon's looking pretty red there. Yeah, BFrobber unfortunately not quite getting the timing on those missiles. And shoots 3 there, and his health is looking a little bit sketchy, especially because he didn't pick up Varia suit yet, so those flames do 40 damage. But takes out Phantoon with 2 more missiles and a super. And BFrobber has his first boss down. So, Antinomy is going to now do the Billy Mays check that he was unable to do earlier. Yeah, and I suspect that, yeah, he probably will make the decision to, yeah, basically meme route down to basically down to Red Tower and then down to Norfair. And then he'll just go to wrecked ship last. He's in a position too where he just needs to grapple in order to do Suitless Meridia if it comes to that. So gravity is not even necessarily a requirement for him. And finding the regular bombs at Billy Mays. Billy Mays selling some super missiles and some explosives. And BFrobber, because he didn't pick up those high jump boots, he is going to have a very difficult time making it through this sponge bathroom. It is possible, using some bomb jump strats with power bombs, but he decides he isn't going to go for that, and he's just going to hope that his gravity suit is not there. Which, that is one of the risks that he took going to Wreck Chip early. Yeah, BFrobber, you do want to shoot that door open. There we go. Lava Dive is not in logic, but I feel comfortable saying both runners are very comfortable doing that. I don't know about the high jumpless Lava Dive that BFrobber may have to do if he doesn't go back and check the 230 missiles. Sephi farming power bombs at X-Ray. I wonder if he's going to try to just... Yeah, so Antinomy is doing the early X-Ray strat where he does damage boosts off of the enemy is here to get to the X-Ray item early, and just does it so beautifully. And with Varya, that was way safer than it would normally be, and those are a very precise set of damage boosts that he just made look super easy. So the other thing is, I don't know if I saw BFrobber check the Sky Missiles location. That is another location that he is leaving behind if he just didn't check it while I was watching Sephi do the early X-Ray. Yeah, BFrobber using a power bomb to clear out these enemies. He wants to have a lot of health going through the bowling spikes here. The spikes do 60 damage without having Varya suit. So I think his health situation is fine now as long as he doesn't get hit. And Commentator Curse strikes again. Yeah. He can survive with 190 with 10 health remaining if he took a third spike hit. I think he just wants a little bit of insurance just in case things go very wrong, but he's also spending a lot of time there. Antinomy is at his first boss, setting up using a bomb jump to set up for his positioning for the missile quick kill. So we will see if he winds up and nope, he does not take Kraid to prom. Kraid is rejected, and Antinomy picks up his space jump. And screw attack. behind the or at the reserve missile location there. So that will help BFrobber in Lower Norfair in particular. And just missiles at the gravity location. Yeah. With Screw Attack being, like, yeah, the biggest item he found there, that is not really enough to justify. And gravity under the ocean. That is, yeah, so I bet BFrobber is kicking himself for doing a full clear of wrecked ship right now. I do find it interesting that BFrobber is now heading back to landing site. Oh, because he has to pick up his Varia suit, right. So Antinomy getting the Machval, gonna check the ice beam location. As BFrobber makes his way fairly quickly into Gauntlet. And just finds another E-Tank. And yeah, just based on the beam combo, I would, and just the fact that, yeah, pretty much just based on that, I would probably put Sephi as in a slight lead. And I think we found 3 reserve tanks so far. Yeah, and plus Sephi is going to is not going to full clear wrecked ship, almost certainly. So, but as far as Sephi doing suitless, he still needs to find grapple beam, and he might spend a lot of time doing checks in Norfair looking for either gravity suit or grapple beam. So basically, we know that the item he's probably looking for is grapple at this point so that he can do suitless Meridia. But if he doesn't find that fairly quickly, then BFrobber may start to gain on him. And BFrobber skips by the 230 missile, so he will not be getting high jump boots. Those high jump boots also will probably make a difference in this race. And so Sephi finds his favorite beam at the Bubble Mountain and shoots some supers at it. BFrobber going to find his regular explosives at Billy Mays. He does not screw through that top block, which you can do. If you have a screw attack, you do not need to use a power bomb there. BFrobber may be looking for a way up Worstrom in the game. He is going to pick up those supers and that, and those bombs. Yeah, apart from that, I'm not sure what else he is really looking for. And yeah, another beam would help, but I'm not sure that he wants to be spending all of this time doing all of these checks. He might be looking for high jump, but he also unfortunately skipped the location where high jump wound up being. So, Antinomy checking the wave location, finds some more power bombs at the wave missiles, and missiles at the wave beam. Antinomy getting trolled a little bit by the Namahe flame there. So he pretty much just has the Brinstar, or sorry, not, or no, he already checked the Norfair Reserve, which is what I meant to say. So he is going to make his way down and do his lava dive. And BFrobber is going to be heading his way to Kraid. Gonna check the Spazer location on his way. Antinomy gonna farm a few power bombs there before he starts his lava dive. Misses the jump the first time, but he has plenty of health. I don't anticipate this being an issue, and he's already through. Oh, and BFrobber is making the decision to go into Meridia, which I feel like is going to wind up being a time sink. But I mean, so I think he's still kind of looking for a way up Worstrom in the game. But it's interesting that he would do this instead of going to Kraid. So Antinomy going to be checking the screw attack location, find supers, which he doesn't pick up. He has a good enough beam combo, and he's going to check the GT item. So more supers, and he is actually going to fight GT. He had the option to just check what the item was and potentially reset if there was nothing else good. BFrobber finding an E-tank on the wall of Mama Turtle. Yeah, I'm gonna say that the GT check here wound up just being a time sink for Antinomy. Because all he found was ammo. He does decide to pick up the super pack there, or he might have just ran into it. BFrobber trying to do a gravity jump to get up to the next part of Meridia. Unfortunately, doesn't get it the first time. He wants to do a very delayed jump on his pause. So basically pause, delay until the screen goes black, and then do a gravity jump, and there he gets it. Because he needs... Basically, you want the momentum shift between when you have your gravity suit physics and when you have the water physics. You basically retain the momentum, but because of the fact that you move much more slowly through water, you wind up but you still have the momentum. You wind up just jumping really high. And BFrobber finally makes it up. I didn't catch him. Yeah. It does need to be gravity suit you need to turn off to do a gravity jump. So, yeah, turning off Varia won't do it. BFrobber gonna check watering hole. And just supers in an E-tank. And to be making his way down towards Ridley. So we'll see if BFrobber decides to just like check one of the sand pits and head down to Kraid, or if he decides he's going to full clear Meridia. Power Bombs of Shame is the super missiles that Antinomy decides are shameful and not worth picking up. And looks like BFrobber is going to go for at least Dragon at this point. I mean, he is right here at this point, so he might as well just make use of that. Going for the Mock Trade Ice Clip up to Batoon. Finally gets the stand-up animation through there and is into his Batoon fight. Should maybe be able to take care of Batoon in this next round. Yeah, Batoon is down. Antinomy going to be farming up some more health and supers. Decides he's comfortable with the energy and supers that he has, and enters his Ridley fight, while BFrobber finds power bombs behind Batoon. Antinomy just filling Ridley full of supers. Needs to do just like 1 or 2 charge shots, and Ridley should be down. I think Ridley is down. Yep. And let's see what Ridley is hiding today. He cannot be hiding charge or bombs. He's just hiding missiles. I know there's been a lot of seeds recently where he's been hiding charge beam, which we've been jokingly calling his credit card, or bombs, but not today. Yeah, that was a really nice Ridley fight from Sephi. Meanwhile, BFrobber is in his Dragon fight. Doesn't really have any options other than an ammo kill. no grapple, no speed booster to speed up this fight. He's just gonna powerbomb the goop and then just shoot supers. Gets a pretty decent amount in. Seffi making good use of the plasma strats through the key hunters. Accidentally activates X-ray there. Their key hunters are one of a bunch of enemies that you can, if you fire a plasma shot as you're running through them, you will not take damage from them. And Dragon is down for BFrobber. So that was a fairly quick ammo kill. So there's speed booster behind in the jail. BFrobber is going to have to do a gravity jump to get out, and it is going to be fairly, actually not all that tight at all. Manages to get it with a lot of room to spare, and yeah, Seffi really wants that speed booster. And BFrobber does an infinite bomb jump out of the precious room. So both of our runners have 2 bosses left, although one of those for BFrobber is maybe closer to a mini boss than an actual boss. But Antinomy's routing is going to be much more efficient because he's going to be basically pathing up towards the ship, whereas however, the catch here is that Antinomy has not found a grapple beam, so he might like do a couple checks in Meridia hoping to find that grapple beam, but he's not gonna find it. I think all that he's gonna be able to check is Mama Turtle and crab supers, and then he's gonna have to just leave up to wrecked ship, and hopefully he checks the hopefully he checks the bottom of ocean first. And there's the grapple beam. Unfortunately for Seffi, I think he's going to need grapple to get to it. So Seffi is going to be doing Croc, hoping to find his grapple beam there, getting the one shot with plasma. Yeah, BFrobber, meanwhile, has no interest in that grapple beam. So, I mean, the only other thing is if Seffi finds Spring Ball, but which he might be able to Spring Ball his way up Everest. I don't know if that is something that is possible. Okay, Frey is saying that he could potentially do a crab climb to get up. So I guess it's probably slower, but he does technically have a way that he could, in fact, do suitless even without grapple. Yeah, but the discussion going on in chat as to how he would escape Dragon if he chose to do suitless. Sephi running right into a reserve tank. I don't know if he actually wanted that. And Kraid down for BFrobber. So I think this race is really at a very interesting point. Where Sephi, depending on his comfort level, he may in fact be able to get through. He may be able to do Suitless Meridia, but and meanwhile, BFrobber just has one boss left and is not likely to do too many more checks, especially now that he has Space Jump. That should put BFrobber into go mode. Yeah, so I think if Sephi does the Crystal Flash suit on Dragon, and then he can use that to escape Dragon's room, and then he could just X-ray climb out of Precious Room. But it would waste a lot of time. So we'll see what Sephi decides to do now. BFrobber almost not checking the high jump location. Looks like Sephi tried to set up for Alpha Spark and yeah, and then wound up getting grabbed. And I missed what was at a high jump. So Sephi is going to head right up to Wreck Ship. He's not going to bother doing any suitless shenanigans. So all that discussion in chat was for naught. And Antinomy validating his run by falling into a Vile Plume. Or at least that's the way that it feels to me, because I am so prone to falling into a Vile Plume going through Hellway. So let's see, does Sephi do the most important check here? And no. Sephi is going to sink a lot of time full clearing Wrecked Ship potentially. So this race just got really interesting. BFrobber still has a chance to potentially catch up, but BFrobber's, I think, insistence on full clearing everything is going to slow him down a lot. And yeah, I agree. I think that this race, I think, is going to be partially dependent on how much BFrobber decides to check. BFrobber is going to pick up the Sephi beam, it looks like. He probably just wants the damage, just because he never found Plasma, because I mean, it's interesting because out of all the thorough checks he's been doing here, he did wind up skipping a couple of very important items. or item checks that wound up being very important. The high jump at 230 missiles and the plasma beam at Mission Impossible. BFrobber, unfortunately, breaking one of those crumble blocks, is going to have to re-enter the room. So at this point, we're seeing like each of our runners checking item locations that the other runner has already cleared. So yeah, the story of this seed, for anyone who's joining late, is that basically Varia was at back of Gauntlet. BFrobber checked the back of Gauntlet early, but Sephi actually beat him to actually picking it up. BFrobber was the first to go direct ship. Full cleared it except for a couple of item locations he couldn't get to, and then found his gravity suit at the bottom of ocean. And Antinomy getting some nice damage boosts across the spiky room of death, which isn't quite so deadly with his current configuration. Just power bombs at wrecked ship E-Tank. Sephi did not bother saving before this check, but he's a very competent player, and I think he won't lose too much time to having to run back. And with having Varia not quite getting the D-boost through the door, but I'll let it, but still getting the slick D-boosts in the room, so I'll give him points for that. And now BFrobber is going to take the remembered highway, the new route way into Lower Norfair. And nothing fancy required for BFrobber with gravity and space jump. He can literally just space jump his way up this room. Yeah, so I think the other story of this race has been BFrobber has been very thorough with his checks, which I think has kind of cost him a lot of time, because, especially because I think I would consider him, especially with the caliber of player he is, to be in go mode. But he is in fact skipping the GT check, so maybe he was just like looking for like high jump or plasma or wave. We have not seen wave beam yet, so no smoky validation yet, and possibly not ever. Just judging from the fact that we've seen most of the item locations that will be checked, and BFrobber falling in Amphitheater, but luckily has space jump, so should be able to get himself back up. Okay, I guess, okay, I was mistaken then. We did see Wave Beam, and Sephi did Smokey validate his run. Yeah, so yeah, thank you, Stars, for catching that one for me. Good. Guess I was looking at the other screen while I was while that happened. So yeah, Sephi with no interest in the vanilla reserve and no interest in the screw attack, which, I mean, to be fair, it's nothing that's going to help him progress. He's already been through Lower Norfair, and yeah, very skillfully just quickly checking and jumping over the gravity item. And now he's going to check the ocean item. He's going to kick himself once he realizes what this is. In fact, I think he may have, I guess he didn't, no, he literally last locationed his gravity suit, I'm pretty sure. BFrobber almost to Ridley. But I think with that find, I want to say Antinomy is slightly ahead at this point, but even so, he still has to like go all the way down Red Tower and then go through Meridia, but his routing is still going to be more efficient. He's going to be leaving Meridia to G4 is going to be a lot more efficient than leaving Ridley to G4. So, and plus because Antinomy has Plasma and Wave, that is going to just allow Antinomy to go even faster. And speed, and also even high jump boots. Like, that is also going to speed him up pretty significantly. But I have to imagine, like, both runners are kind of kicking themselves for full clearing wrecked ship when their gravity suit was just sitting down below the ocean. And I mean, I've been in that situation myself on like betting on full clearing wrecked ship and Varia being in Gauntlet, so it's kind of a painful situation to be in, of realizing that you wasted all that time full clearing wrecked ship. And I feel like both of these runners do have to feel like they're behind because of that. Yeah, I mean, it is true, though, that BFrobber has been very thorough with his checks, so maybe... Yeah, so it would be interesting to kind of... Like, we'll have to hear if he decides to come in for an interview after this, like, what he was looking for in Upper Norfair. Yeah, Sephi did full clear wrecked ship looking for his gravity suit. And yeah, Sephi making very quick work of Botsmoon thanks to the microwave. Yeah, BFrobber is checking. BFrobber at the very least will find his wave beam, so he'll at least have like the new route beam combo. But yeah, not having yeah, and he's gonna see that speed booster. We'll see if he decides to pick it up. But yeah, he's still gonna have a significantly worse beam combo, and Sephi with the really fast microwave. Judging from the fact that BFrobber was turning back there, he may have been... Yeah, he's definitely planning on... skipping the speed booster, which is going to slow down his escape, like both from here and from and at the end of the game pretty significantly. So at this point, based on their positions, I kind of have to say that barring a disaster, Seffi has this race. BFrobber looks like he's going to do the new tech for leaving this room here. So he's going to be shooting the ceiling a bunch of times with Wave and Spazer, and eventually it's going to cause the game to forget that those speed blocks are there, and he's going to be able to run right through them. So that's some really neat tech that he was able to show off there. It unfortunately only works in that going right to left, but it still saves a bunch of time over going through the cathedral rooms. It's probably even nicer, like if you can use it to avoid doing the cathedral hell run backwards, because that I consider to be a pretty awful hell run to have to do in reverse. So Seffi making his way down to Torian. Getting an interesting like spark into D-boost, it looked like. Oh, okay, so he was charging a spark that... Yeah, I think there's some piece of tech that where you can basically charge a spark there. I don't know the and use it later. I don't know the specifics about it. And while I was watching that, I missed a cold-blooded murder happen on the left screen. BFrobber murdering the Ponkfish in cold blood. And Seffi through all 4 Metroid rooms. He has all the items for Baby Skip, so we'll see if he manages to get that, which I anticipate he will. He is a very top tier runner. And BFrobber making his way into Torian. Turning off screw attack, going down the elevator, which will help him with grouping strats on the Metroids, and Seffi does not quite get the Baby Skip, so we'll just have to refill his health up ahead. And plus, removing screw attack also makes Zeb skip. because you can do the spin jump method that most runners tend to prefer. Sevi looked like he might have been going for a speed Zeb skip there, but not getting it. He just defaults back to doing the standard ice Zeb skip. And BFrobber through his Metroid rooms. And through Mother Brain 1 as BFrobber does not have high jump, so is not likely to do a baby skip. Looks like he's gonna go for it anyways, but yeah, without high jump, it's very difficult and doesn't really even save time. And Antinomy through the Mother Brain 2 phase is going to be setting up for stand up. He's space jumping in the air until the Metroid flies in. As BFrobber is heading into the Mother Brain room and gonna set up for his Zeb skip. And gets it very quickly. And Antinomy starting his stand up. And BFrobber starting his Mother Brain 2 fight. This fight is going to take significantly longer for BFrobber because his beam combo only does as much damage as a super. He might be counting his shots here and then switching to supers once he gets 20, I believe, to yeah, and now he's going to just start shooting supers, which has significantly higher DPS, and with that really beautifully done stand-up, Sephi only needs a few shots on Mother Brain, or a Mother Brain 3, and Mother Brain is down and it's on to the escape. So yeah, so to answer the question in chat about the beam combo versus supers, supers have a higher rate of fire. So except for like when you have the full beam combo of Charge, Ice, Wave, Plasma, the supers are going to have higher DPS just because you can fire them faster. But yeah, Sephi bonks the Behemoth Spark, getting the infamous Zenny Spark, but succeeds with the Behemoth Spark the second time. And I highly doubt Sephi's going to head down to the animals. So with that, Sephi has done with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 9 minutes, 57 seconds. GG to Sephi. Very well done. And BFrobber threw Mother Brain 2 in his cutscene. And we're about to see the saddest moment in video game history on BFrobber's side. So we'll see if we can get Sephi in here for an interview. As BFrobber goes through his Mother Brain 3. And is done with that for BFrobber, just onto the escape. And we are joined by Sephi, GG Sephi.
GG, how's it going, everyone? How'd you enjoy it? GG to Beefy.
Yep. So what were your thoughts on this seed?
This seed was I debated myself on purpose. I made it so that I get gravity last. I'm just kidding. That sucked. That gravity was pretty much. I didn't have to check all of Wreck Ship. That was such a bad look.
Yeah. BFrobber basically did the same thing, but much earlier. He went to Wreck Ship fairly early, full cleared basically everything he was able to, and then checked that bottom of ocean location on his way back. And I was basically saying, like, yeah, both of you were probably kicking yourselves when you found that.
Big time. It was I cleared that so much. Oh my gosh, that sucked. Oh, Spring Ball is that? Oh, it was there? Oh, that's where I could have gone. Anyway, GG to Beefy. Yeah, I love that guy. He's a really nice dude and really helpful guy.
Yeah, and with that, BFrobber has finished in second place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 12 minutes, 38 seconds. GG to BFrobber. Yeah, it was a, there were definitely, it was definitely a very interesting scene with just where Varia was accessible so early on, but yeah, and technically so was Gravity. It's just that it kind of trolled both of you.
Yeah, I mean, I usually make that check first anyway. I don't know what came over me to not do it. I guess because it's, a full rando, there's more items to check in Wreck Ship. I wasn't really anticipating the one item that I needed, at least, to be right underneath the ocean missiles. Ocean Man.
Yeah, I know. It's something that I've done too, where like I had a race where Varia was in Gauntlet and I full clear, and just because I couldn't check it early, like I wound up full clearing Wreck Ship and then going to Gauntlet and kicking myself when I found found Varia in my case there. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, I just you had saw you fire off a bunch of supers when you found your beam
I do
in
not
the.
have the beam. We did not discuss that. I do not acknowledge. I did not have any relations with that beam. Yeah, I hate Phaser.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Any other thoughts?
The only thought that I have is that Spazer is a thought. That's the only thing. No, GG to Beefy. This is only the first match of our best of 3. I can't wait to see what second has in store for us. But yeah, much respect for the boy.
Yeah. Yeah, it should definitely be a really exciting match too. Yeah. Yeah, BFrobber basically like what cost him a lot was the fact that he did a lot of unnecessary checks in Meridia and Upper Norfair. And he also missed high jump and he missed plasma early on. Because I guess actually I think you even were kind of in a tight position as far as power bombs were concerned early on when you were doing your Brinstar clear.
Yep, I was.
Yeah, so I don't know whether it was just that he didn't have the power bombs to do that check. But yeah, so he missed out on having plasma.
Man, that sucks. Yeah, it's always that one beam. Either way, he did a really good job, only being 3 minutes behind.
Yeah.
So definitely give him a follow.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what else there is about this seed. It's always these. That was gonna be pretty quick, but of course it's a full randomizer, so you can't always really expect that to be a thing.
Yeah, there's always going to be that one item because we were also wondering, like, when you were going through Norfair, whether you were also kind of like looking potentially for grapple as a way to just do suitless Meridia.
Yeah, I was. If I had, well, I don't know because I had cleared out a whole bunch of stuff. If I had grapple, would it have been worth it? I don't think so because I had just a few clears left. I might as well just checked. What was the last clear? Really, the only last 2 spots that I could check are Waterway and uh.
Oh yeah, Waterway and like Criteria Supers, but neither of those could have actually had Gravity Suit because Speed Booster was in Lower Norfair, and with
Oh
this
right.
logic, uh, yeah, in this particular logic, Gravity cannot be in Lower Norfair.
This logic is smart. It's gonna give. Oh well, all good. It was fun. Thank you for commentary, but Link, that was cool. Cool of you, and thank you to Stars for the restream. And, we had Tracker, yeah, Amadeus, and everyone in chat for showing up. I love you all. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get BFrobber in here for an interview, but yeah, this was a really exciting race. I can't wait to watch match 2. Yeah, and GG again, Safi.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll catch you on the flippity flip. Bye.
Yep. So with that, yeah, that was definitely an exciting race. So yeah, with that, may you not find your Varia suit at Shack Tool, and see you next mission.